Hi everyone, and welcome to the webinar about recruiting on social media for manufacturing industry. Let's introduce ourselves first. My name is Stephanie. I'm the marketing lead at Simple, and next to me stands Mark. He's one of the founders of Simple. I'm going to share my slides first. Let's see if everything goes right. Yeah, so normally you should see the slides right now. What is on the agenda for today? Well, first of all, why should you recruit on social media? We have to get some basics right before you can actually set up your campaign. We're going to talk about which visuals, which copy you need to upload for a good campaign. And then, of course, we're going to also share with you some successful experiments. All right.
Okay, yes, so let's talk about Simple Babe and why should you actually believe everything we're going to be showing, because this is what we do, right? We actually help our customers with our software to put targeted advertising on social media to reach the right candidates. We have some pretty fancy software to do that, and actually some pretty interesting numbers. We have about almost 500 customers, so we're getting there. Could be a big party, I think, once we reach that. Do a lot of data analysis, and then almost 200 represented in 28 countries and counting. So hopefully by the moment you see this webinar, that number will have gone up. You see a couple of our customers in the manufacturing industry on the slide also. Maybe briefly, before we go on, explain what's the difference between what is called organic traffic, which is if you put something on your company Facebook page, that is, people can come to a page and have a look at that, but you will have not a lot of reach, not a lot of people will actually see that. It's called organic traffic. Social media companies have to make money by selling advertising, so they will actually limit the reach of your page to about 3% of your audience. What that means, if you have 1,000 likes on your company page, maximum 30 people will actually see a new post that you have put on there. That system is not going to work to recruit passive candidates. You have to actually be willing to put out some money, put some money in the budget to do so, and that's called advertising, that's called paid ads. That's what we're going to be talking about for the rest of the webinar. Now, why are we such big fans on using social media? Is because currently most companies, when they recruit, they will focus on the active candidates, the active looking candidates, which, yes, you can reach those on classical marketing, job boards like Indeed, Stepstone, or Monster, because that's where these candidates will go to look for a job. But actually, that's only a small part of the market. And even with the pandemic, even with the recession, is it yes or not recession? Different discussion. Those numbers are still the same. Right? But the biggest chunk, the biggest opportunity, we think, is in reaching those passive candidates, people not actively looking for a job, but still open for another opportunity closer to home, better work-life balance, more interesting job. And those people you can actually reach on social media because they are on there every day. An average user on Facebook scrolls through 160 meters per day on their smartphone. That's a lot of moments where you can actually interact with them and show them advertising. And not on an individual basis, the numbers are big, but if you can look at the total numbers, 2.9 billion users, Facebook worldwide. Just to put that, in Belgium, about every day, about 6.5 million people going onto social media, which is actually, comparing to one of the biggest television chains, which is only 1.5 million, there's a lot of people on social media. If you look at other numbers, other metrics, the amount of video views per day, the number becomes staggering, right? But very interesting because most people will think that TikTok is kind of skewed towards, a younger audience, teenagers just doing some silly dances. That is not true anymore. Almost more than half of the users on TikTok are older than 25 years old. So don't forget TikTok in the mix. So just not only focus on Facebook, Instagram, but look at other channels which might be relevant for using and reaching the right audience. Now, over to you, Steph, to maybe explain a bit more in detail on how you can reach that interesting audience.
Yes, all right. So before you can actually develop your campaign, there are some basics which you need to set up. So you need to set up the basics before you can actually start your campaign. Now, where to start? Of course, you need a website. You need to have a vacancy, because when people see your advertisement, they need to click on it and they have to come to a website. You can use Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, maybe also TikTok, maybe some job boards, and you need to set up when an application is taking place. So the algorithm of the social media platforms will optimize your campaign in the best possible way. We also recommend to set up Google Analytics. You can do that via Google Tag Manager. Those are all free platforms, but in Google Analytics, you will see how many visitors came to your website, from which channel, how long did they spend on your vacancy page. It's really useful because, of course, you're spending media budget on it and you want to have the best return on investment of your campaign. Now, this is a funnel. These are all the steps that a person takes to hopefully come to a hire. In the attract phase, you will show your advertisements. So hopefully people will click on it and then they come to your vacancy page. Then an application is taking place, and then eventually a hire is taking place. Like I already said, Google Analytics is your friend to track everything correctly.
A free friend on top of
yes,
that. Yes,
indeed.
you don't have to pay for them.
Now, why is this so important to have an image of this? Well, you want to know where something goes wrong. If you have lots of impressions in the attract phase on your advertising, but not many people click on it and they come to your vacancy page, and probably you're targeting the wrong audience, or your ad isn't attractive enough to click on it. Then you can actually start with building your campaign. Also here, there are some things you need to keep in mind and you need to set up correctly. And first of all, think about your targeting. Unfortunately, I have some bad news for you, because if you're doing recruitment campaigns on the Meta platform, so that's Facebook, Instagram, then you need to mention it and you have to highlight it that you're doing employment campaigns, which is called special ad campaigns. And in that way, you will have some restricted set of targeting options. So not every targeting option you can use to do recruitment campaigns on the Meta platform. And you have to do it, because otherwise your ad account will be banned. So if you're doing recruitment campaigns, make sure to select the special ad campaign, so Facebook knows that you're doing employment campaigns. All right, what can you select in the targeting view of the campaign managers? Well, first of all, the location. If you're looking for someone in Antwerp, then choose the city Antwerp, and we recommend with a radius of around 20 kilometers, so the algorithm will have a broad audience to target. Demographics aren't possible anymore, but you can still select
for employment ads.
For
so
employment
that's very important,
ads, yeah.
Right? You might, if you're selling shoes, you want to target people buying your shoes. You can still do that with demographics, but not if you're using employment ads.
No, indeed. You can still select some interests within the targeting view. Now, if you're looking for digital marketer, for example, there is an interest digital marketing. So you can still choose that one, but you can't use the data anymore from your Facebook pixel if you're doing recruitment campaigns, employment campaigns on the Meta platform. Once you've defined your target audience, you can set up your campaign, you can set up your advertisement, and what we recommend is to do some A/B testing as well. What is an A/B test? For example, here you see two pictures, one of a team, one of an individual, and you can put them both live on the Facebook platform, and after a couple of days, the data will already show you which visual is working best for your target audience. We always do that with our clients, so we immediately know which advertisement is resonating within your target audience. Now, what visuals do you need to use? Well, first of all, use authentic pictures, and this is a really important one. People want to know where they are going to work, with who they are going to work. So use authentic pictures and don't search on the internet for stock images, because they won't work. They need to be thumb-stopping. People, like Mark already said, people are scrolling 160 meters a day, which is really, really a lot. And you need to pop out with your advertisement, and it needs to be immediately clear who are you looking for. And the third tip that we want to share with you is use uniform communication. Show your brand, use the same colors to highlight the function title, use the same colors as well on your vacancy page, because it will also have an effect on your performance of your campaign. Like I already said, never ever use stock images. You don't have to hire a professional photographer to take some images. You can just take them with your smartphone, and that will do. And don't put too much text on your visuals, not on your pictures, but also not on your videos. We recommend to only use 20% of the image, which is already a lot. So the image is visible and the image will attract the people to click on your advertisements. Here you can see some videos of our manufacturing clients, well, of a couple of them, a few of them, indeed. You see that they take up the whole mobile because, like I already said, they're scrolling, you need to pop out, and they're really thumb-stopping, when they see the advertisement. All right. And of course, when you launch your campaign, and you also can write some copy to put above your advertisement, above your visuals. And what we recommend is think about the requirement that the candidate needs to have, and think about one requirement to put in the advertisement, because you also want to highlight what's in it for the candidate. People that are on Facebook, they normally have a job, or 80% of them is not actively looking for a job. So you need to think about, okay, what makes my company unique? What's make the function title unique? Or what can I offer the candidates that they don't find in another company? And avoid cliches. Everyone speaks about work hard, play hard, team player, flexible, etc. No, be creative, and you can also add that to your copy. All right. Now, what you can also do is Meta and TikTok have an ads library and a creative center where you can find advertisements that people are running right now, so other companies. Now, don't think about competitors of your company, but think about competitors that also want to reach your target audience. We will go really quickly live. Let's see.
And we'll share the link to Facebook Ads Library also in the notes, or in the comments, so you can actually kind of go looking for yourself. But maybe it might be good just to show, as we're looking in manufacturing. Let's just put the keyword packaging on there, and then you will see all employment ads. That's important, right? Because we filtered employment ads. So these are all companies which mention, packaging. Maybe I'm not sure if we can make it a bit smaller, but this is a company called Smart Packaging Solutions. You can see that they're looking for plenty of people. Some other companies. So you can actually use this tool. Maybe we can kind of turn it around. If you could look at operator. Maybe look at it on more function, and look at what are the companies looking for operators. You see some HR, but these are some staffing agencies, Jobs like Risto, Job at Sabic. That's a company looking for operators. And what's interesting, let's take Sabic maybe as an example and look at their ads. I don't know. Sorry, let's look at. Can we look at the? Let's do view ads. If you look at that. So you will then have a look at all the different ads they currently have running. You can see different versions. You can even see, if you scroll up a small bit, on what channels. So they are now showing us on all Meta channels. Cohort on the right, they are not using our Messenger. So there are lots of data here that can help you understand what your target audience is seeing, what your competition is doing, but also what is happening in the space. So for you to have a good understanding of, the competing environment you'll have. But again, we'll share that link so you can kind of start looking for that. Don't do that now, right? We still have some very interesting information to come. But the only downside to the ads library is it will only show the ads which are live at the moment.
Yeah.
I think, Stephanie, yes. So if a company stops these certain ads, that will not be visible anymore. So it's another reason maybe to regularly go and check out what's happening there.
Mm-hmm. All right, now, how much budget do you need to provide to run recruitment campaigns? Well, on the Meta platform, you can already run an advertisement for minimum €1 a day. Do we recommend it? No. What we do is we foresee at least minimum €10 a day per ad that we do, and we run 4 ads per campaign so that we can A/B test different visuals, different audiences, maybe also a video, etc. On TikTok, you need to have at least minimum €20 a day. Before it was €50 a day, it was really expensive. I hope it will go down a bit more in the next couple of years. All right, now once you have developed your campaign, of course, you need to manage it because you're putting media budget in it and you want to have the best results and the most and qualified applications that you can get. Now, I want to share with you some A/B tests. Like I already said, you need to track them correctly because, of course, you want to know which one is working best. And let's see, we're going to share an A/B test that we've run for Brussels Airport, who was looking for an electrician. You see that the branding is the same, function title is the same, the copy underneath the picture is the same, only the picture is different. After a couple of days, we already saw that the one on the left was working better than the one on the right. We actually thought that the one on the right was more personal and you could see someone working there, but the one on the left was resonating better within the audience. So we went through with the one on the left. CPA is cost per application. So you give some media budget to Facebook, then you hopefully you get some applications, and the CPA is a cost per application. So how much does it cost to get those applications? Then here's another one. Here we tested with another visual, which was for Brouwerij Westmalle. You can see that the function title is the same, branding is the same, only the visual is different. And here you can see that the difference about the cost isn't really, a big difference, but the applicants, there were more applicants, 28 for the picture on the right. And you don't know why the one on the right is working better than the left one, but I mean, the data doesn't lie. And of course, you want to have as much as applications. So keep that in mind that you need to track it correctly when you're doing A/B tests.
There was a question on basically, what does that mean that your budget can explode? Mm-hmm. Maybe to pick on that, it's difficult to estimate what your budget will be for a cost per application, but obviously in Facebook, you can put a maximum budget on there, either on per day that you're saying, I want to spend maximum €50 per day, or your total maximum. So it's not, you're not giving them a blank check that they can run away with your money, but you have to kind of keep close control on that, because that's quite important to make sure that you optimize the budget that you're spending.
Mm-hmm. Now, you need to keep an eye on all the data that comes in Google Analytics and in Facebook, etc. And you can use Google Data Studio for it. Google Data Studio is also for free. And there you can build some nice dashboards about all the steps that a person takes, impressions, job vacancy page visits, applications, and then hopefully a hire. But you can see immediately from which channel the applicants come. Yes.
Okay, maybe. Well, thanks, Steph, to kind of highlighting that. And I think, did we mention the Academy already?
Not think yet. In the beginning.
Okay, maybe, but just to make sure, we've kind of kept this very top line to give you an idea of what is needed to run that. If you kind of are interested in some specific subjects, you can find those in the Academy, which is free, right? Which has great content, and we'll share the link in the notes. But what's important to understand is that, yes, it's complicated. And unfortunately, that means that most, or a lot of recruiters, will then kind of fall back on their default approach, which is just putting something on a job board and therefore only reaching active candidates. So we think there was an opportunity there. We developed one software solution that encompasses all 3 stages: the setup, the development, and the management of the campaign automatically. very easy to use software tool. 93% of our users have no marketing experience whatsoever. Now, why is that the tool can do that? Because basically it will allow you to focus on only having to write a text for the vacancy and then screening the candidates that are coming in, because everything else that we've explained is done through the software. So we will take, ensure that the analytics are working, that we can do the tracking, that we optimize based on A/B testing, that we look at what works best, that we make sure we spend your advertising budget as efficient or as effective as possible. So you can just focus on, screening the candidates and writing a text. Until recently, when we kind of went one step further and made sure that even you don't have to write the text. We also noticed in the last time that, for a lot of HR people, writing text, writing copy, writing advertising text is a bit out of their comfort zone, and we can perfectly understand why that is. And I'll just go live. Let's just say that we'll try and put something live here in less than 5 minutes. So I'm just going to share. I'm going to go to what, as you can see here, the beta version, which means it's still in development. So please bear with me if not all goes well from the first time. And what we're just going to look for is a machine operator with, for instance, Toyota. So I've put in the name of the vacancy. I've kind of put in the name of the company. I'm now going to tell our software which is the closest possible vacancy to compare with, which is a manufacturing machine operator. We'll keep this in English. You can obviously choose different languages for the text to be written. We'll keep it in English in view of the webinar. And let's say that they would be looking for a machine operator in their factory. Well, it's not going to be a factory in London. Let's just say Manchester might be a more interesting place to put your factory. We're going to target there. We're going to save this. Then we're going to decide to go on Facebook and Instagram. We always advise to choose at least 2 channels to make sure that you can do some testing, look what's best. And here you can write the text yourself on what you want to kind of to copy to accompany the visual to convince people to click to your advertising, or you can ask us to, or ask our algorithm to come up with a first text, which I think is actually looking pretty good here. Yeah, so let's go for that. Then let's take the Toyota logo, which I've uploaded earlier. Then look at some pictures. I'll just upload a picture from my hard drive that is showing some people in an operating environment. Let's hear this, and I'll show that. So I choose 2 pictures. Why? So we can A/B test. As Stephanie explained, that's important. And just by clicking here, we've put the logo in the right place. Machine operator, put the text there. You can have a look at Instagram. This person is nicely centered. You could, if you would want to, maybe focus on somebody else on that same picture. That's all up to you. So you don't need Photoshop anymore. Everything is done within our software. We're happy with these ads. We obviously now need a page with the vacancy on, so people can read more about the function. We're also going to ask our AI to generate that and to kind of do a proposal. We obviously need to give it some input. I found a little text about Toyota on their website. I'm going to say it's a great team and flexible hours, probably. Let's ask for a tone of voice which is enthusiastic. And again, we'll ask the artificial intelligence to do a first proposal of text. So you see if we put some emojis there, we've put a first example of the test. Now in this case, if, for instance, there's no troubleshooting, repairing needed for the machine operator, you can delete that part, you can replace it with something else if need be. There's also some kind of text already on what's expected to run, to be qualified for this job. We're happy with that. As it's a production role, we might want to ask an extra question to candidates on, are you willing, to work in shifts, right? let's make it required because it's important to understand that. And then basically the only thing you have to do is decide on your advertising budget. This is going to be your maximum budget. So, that's, we'll spend it probably depending, 40 to 50 euros per day. You click on finish publishing, and depending on the contract you have in our software, you either send to the credit card payment where you can just pay for this, or you pay by invoice. But basically, your campaign is ready to go, and in the next couple of minutes, you'll go on air, you'll go live on social media. I think we've kept it within 5 minutes.
It was within 3 minutes.
It was 3 minutes. There you go. Well, I did a bit of preparation,
Yeah.
but if I would have to look for pictures, it probably would have been 5 minutes. But that's the time it takes, right? And just to reassure you, all the tracking will be done. The candidates that apply will be visible in the software. The optimization of the budget will be done. So your 800 euro will be spent as efficiently as possible thanks to our algorithm. So it's a pretty, it's a very easy to use approach to get your campaigns on air. And that's it. Right, back to you, Steph.
Yes. So like Mark already mentioned, and like you already could see, we have an easy-to-use software where you can immediately go live on those social media platforms. There is a simple academy where you can find some webinar recordings from the past, or maybe some white papers as well. And then, of course, if you want to have some advice or make use of our services, that is an optional thing that you can buy within Simple. All right. If you have some questions with setting up your campaign or with Simple Academy or whatever, you can connect with us on LinkedIn and you can send us a message.
Or you can just go to our website, ask for maybe a demo. I think we'll share.
Yeah.
We'll share it also here. If we're just having a short demo, we can actually kind of provide that to you. So you can just register. We'll do a 20-minute demo, show you how you can set up your campaigns in less than 3 minutes, apparently.
Yeah.
It's going quicker and quicker. So you can actually reach the candidates for your manufacturing jobs. We've shown, I just want to maybe kind of just explain that. We've mainly shown technical jobs here, but about, I think 60% of the jobs, vacancies in our software are more kind of higher educated jobs like engineers, marketeers, salespeople, etc., etc. So it's not only people from the factory.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again in one of our webinars or maybe in our Simple software.
There you go.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.